Hello guys. Eventually the soap dry up and fall off and the baby has a regular looking belly button. The thing and nobody ever found many stop and to this day I'm still paranoid it's gonna show up somewhere. When I was a newborn, mom put me in front of the TV for an hour a day to watch educational video. I don't know if those video actually made me any smarter, but at least I was smart enough to figure out how to put on something I want to watch. I also figured out how to remove the batteries from the remote so an uncle turned the educational video back on. But when you are a baby, you can really get around a lot. So there was only one place I could hide the battery. I think mom should have let me crawl around on the floor more when I was little because I was way behind the other kids in my playgroup when it came to the physical stuff. Well, the others were sitting up and couch surfing. I was still working on lifting my head off the ground. Then one day mom brought me these things called a baby adventure action walker, which was the first thing I ever got that Roderick didn't have before me. The action walker was awesome. It had a million little gadgets you could entertain yourself with, plus a cup holder. But the best thing about it was I could get anywhere I needed to go without actually having to walk. I called him that when I was in my baby adventure action walker, all my little playgroup friends felt like chump. But then mom read in the some parent magazine that it wasn't a good idea to use baby walker because kids want to develop the right muscles to work on their own. So mom returned the action walker to the store and I was back to square one. It took a long time, but eventually I did learn to walk. And before I knew it, I was in pretty school. I was hoping I'd have a head start over the other kids because of all the work mom had put in with the classical music and the educational DVD, but the other mom must have done that stuff too because the competition in preschool was pretty stiff. I mean, you had kids in there who know how to use bone and zipper, but I could barely figure out how to pull off my mitten without help from the grown up. A few of my classmates could write their own names, and one or two could count all the way to 50. I knew I couldn't keep up, so I decided to try and show everyone else down by feeding them bad information. My plan kind of backfired through, and my preschool teacher told mom I wasn't learning my color and shape like the other kids. But mom said I was smart and that maybe the problem was I wasn't being challenged enough. So mom actually took me out of preschool and had me skip a guard to kindergarten, but that decision was a total disaster. The kids in kindergarten seemed like Janet to me, and they knew how to do stuff like cut with scissors and color inside the line. I didn't even make it a whole day in the kindergarten before the teacher had to call mom to come get me. The next day, mom brought me back to Paris school and asked the teacher if I could have my copy back. I just hope your academic record doesn't follow you around because it might be tough for me to get a good job later on if people find out I was a kindergarten dropout. Monday. I am pretty sure mom decided that whatever she tried me when I was little didn't work out because she is taking a totally different approach with money. For starters, mom pretty much lets Manny watch whatever he wanted on TV, so he keeps it on his show called The Sun plays 24 hours a day. I try to match the sun for a few times, but I had no idea what was going on. The Sun people have their own language that I guess only 3 years old and understand. After Money watched the show, he gets frustrated when no one in our family can understand him. But the other day, mom read an article in the newspaper that said watching the snarl actually seconds back about the year with their language develop and mess up their social skills too. Well, that's explain a lot. Manny doesn't have any real friend, and whenever mom holds play group at our house, Manny is the only one who doesn't interact with the other kids. I think part of the issue is that Manny doesn't like to share his toys. So when kids come over, Manny looks himself inside our old dog sweetie exercise pen and keep his toy all to himself. And whenever more tries to get Manny to play with other kids on his own, it backfires. And our church, they have this new thing where they send all the little kids down the basement during the service so they can play and color. But the first time mom dropped Manny off on star, there was only another kid in the play area, and he told Manny he was a vampire. I felt a little bad for Manny because I had to deal with a scary kid when I was his age. So I was stuck in preschool with his boy named Bartley who thoroughly maybe change he got. They told mom about Bar every day when I came home and said I didn't want to go to the school anymore, but that summer Barty and his family moved away. So the problem took care of itself. After Barty moved, wrote a story called Bad Barley about a kid who always misbehaved. Barley was a bad kid in real life, but in most version he was pretty much the devil. I think mom was actually gonna try to get her story published, but Barley and his family moved back into our neighborhood to the next spring, so she had to scrub it. Even so, mom never got her bad Bartley story published. She used to teach many about how you are supposed to have in preschool, and I think that's one of the reasons many is so afraid of other kids his age. Many Many might not have any real friend, but he has a bunch of imaginary aunts. I've kind of lost count of them all, but the name I can remember are Joy, Petty, Danny, Charles Tribble, the other Charles Trib, Tiny Jim, and Johnny Shider. I don't know how many came up with all those fake friends, but believe me, to him they are real. On time, many took all the imagery friend to the grocery store and hold a total meltdown when mom supposedly left child trouble behind in the frozen food aisle. Sometimes I wonder if many made up his imaginary friends so he could get stuff like extra dessert after dinner.